In this tutorial, we are going to make this very beautiful wire handmade hair clip with a brass wire. You could do that with other materials like copper too. First, we need wire of about 12 gauge or 2 millimeter thick, a strong wire cutter to be able to cut this thick wire, and also a round nose pliers that I'm using this bigger type than the smaller one that I usually use. And at last, round nose pliers. And if you're interested, you could use hammer and jewelry files that I'm going to explain and continue. First of all, I'm going to draw the line and the map that we are going to make this hair clip. This starts with a curl and another one that is mirrored with a sharp angle in between and a line that is going through this form. And we are going to make the same with wire. Of course, you could add some decorations like a bead or pearl that is suspended at the middle of this shape, or any other kind of decorations that you want. But I'm going to make the simple form and shape. First of all, pick up 12 gauge wire and start making it all straight with chain nose pliers or a plastic or wooden hammer. I prefer to do that with a wooden hammer or simply by ring mandrel. To make it all straight, I'm using it perpendicular and with a lot of pressure, of course, because the thickness of the wire just needs enough pressure to make it all straight. And then I'm going to start making the first curl with round nose pliers. I'm using the midpoint of this round nose pliers to have a better space to push on this wire and make the first curl at this point. And I'm going to shape the continuous of this wire with my other hand and simultaneously to rotate round nose pliers in the other hand. I'm going to fix it and make it a better curve with chain nose pliers. It's a little oval, so I'm going to put a pressure to make it more circular. And here I need to make the sharp angle, but before I'm using again round nose pliers to curve it better, to open it a little to complete the shape. And here again I'm using it, and that's all okay. It's a beautiful curve and curl here. I'm using chain nose pliers somewhere in between and bend the wire to make that sharp angle. And this is the half part of my hair clip. And I'm going to make another similar shape at the other side. So I make it curved little by little, just like when I'm making a circle. Here I need to make this area a little sharper with chain nose pliers, so I'm doing it. And here with round nose pliers again, I'm going to make the smaller curve. And because of the thickness of this wire, I need to make a space here, and I'm going to open it up a little, just like when you open a jump ring, to put it at the very end of this wire cutter and to push this wire cutter out. And this is not going to happen, and to cut it out with just one move. And I'm going to rotate a wire cutter all around at the same place to cut it off. And this is the main structure we have in here. I'm going to make this curve a little better and to make it symmetrical to the first part. So I insert round nose pliers into the bigger circle and start to shape it little by little. And here, let's to fix it out and make all parts in one surface with chain nose pliers. And again here, I'm going to make this part a little smaller and to make it similar to the first part. Just this is a little tough, I know that, but you should be concentrated and do that little by little and out of rush. Okay, here I need a straight piece of my wire to insert it in. Just like this, I am going to make the main structure a little curved so that the straight part goes through both curves like this. Okay, I put extra spaces of about 2 centimeters right and left, and a little more, about 2 other centimeters, to make a loop, and then cut this wire out with wire cutter. Just as we did first, put wire cutter, make a pressure and rotate the wire or wire cutter, that doesn't different, and then start making a very little loop with round nose pliers at one end, and at the end make a 90-degree bend. To make it closed, use chain nose pliers and put a pressure. This is the straight part, and you could just let it as it is, or you could hammer those parts. I'm going to make a hammering effect, so I put it on the metal surface and put the pressure with the metal mallet, just like this. And don't forget, this 12 gauge thick wire needs a lot of pressures. And here I'm using the jewelry file to make the end of this wire smooth. I have explained more about using jewelry files at the link above. So I'm using this tool on all sides of this part to make it both shiny and smooth. And I'm doing the same with the main structure, and I have hammered those curves. Now the wire clip is ready. You could use some wire weaving parts added to the main structure or even dangling parts, but I think it's more user-friendly.